Yo, it's Daniel Mesa. I'm here with another video. Today's topic is going to be about weight loss. I get a lot of people asking about, how to get cut for the summer. Currently, I'm in the process of cutting myself. Right now, I'm at 186. My goal is to be around 173, maybe 170, see what I look like. And I say what I look like because, your weight is just a number. Your weight's going to fluctuate throughout the day. You're never going to really know your exact weight. So your weight's gonna fluctuate throughout the day, so it's best to try to weigh yourself in the morning before you eat, before you drink anything, and record it every single day. See, make sure you're going down in a trend. What I like to do is I like to weigh myself every single day, and then I get the average of the whole entire week. So I add all the 7 days, the weight together, and then I divide it all by 7. And you want to compare it, on a weekly basis. Make sure you're in a downwards trend. And realistically, you don't want to lose more than 2 pounds a week unless you're really overweight. Then yeah, you can lose more than 2 pounds a week. But realistically, if you're already relatively lean, you don't want to lose more than 2 pounds a week. Anything other than that, that's going to tap into your muscle and it's going to cause a lot of problems. Especially with your energy levels, you don't want to be dying during the process. I mean, it's dumb to hate the process of doing it. Because most of us aren't trying to compete. Most of the people that are watching this, they're not trying to compete, and if they are, they're not planning for a while. So yeah, you don't need to be extremely in a deficit. You don't need to be hating life. If it's hindering your workouts, I mean, that is a signal alone. You shouldn't be that much in a deficit unless you're like 2 weeks in already, cutting. And yeah, your energy levels will drop, but that's when you would implement like a refeed day. I wouldn't say like a cheat meal or a cheat day, because I mean, it's not like an accurate number. It's not, you don't exactly know what you're eating if you're just eating like a cheat meal, because it could be upwards to like 2,000-3,000 calories just in that one small meal, and yeah, that could kind of mess up your results. But yeah, like I said, you don't need to be that much in a deficit. You want to make sure you're consistent with this. So I mean, if you're at least eating like 4-5 days clean, and then maybe 2 days out of the week you're kind of a little bit off, but you're around that area, which you should be eating, then I mean, you're gonna be going in a downwards trend, and maybe at a slower rate. But whatever works for you, you go at your own pace. The more strict you are, of course, the more results you're gonna get. But yeah, you don't need to let it take over your life. Because unless you're competing, then that's when it's gonna take over your life, and you gotta eat this, you gotta eat that. And there's a lot of different tools that you could use to make the process a lot easier. Likewise, with me, I do intermittent fasting, which I only eat 2 meals a day. That's cool, but 2 meals a day. I go 16 hours without eating, including my sleep, the time I sleep. So I only eat from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. I eat only in that little 8-hour window. So basically I skip breakfast. That way I could eat more calories in those 2 meals rather than breaking it down and all that stuff. So it doesn't really matter when you eat, as long as you're eating an adequate amount of food, the right amount of calories. As well as like hitting your fiber goals. I mean, if you're really hungry all the time for some reason, but your calories are good, your calories are where they should be, but you're still hungry, then that's when you want to eat more whole foods, such as like brown rice, potatoes, oatmeal, stuff like that. But realistically, you could eat pretty much whatever you want. Just make sure it's at a low servings, or it fits into your numbers. So you could eat like a 26 carb chocolate bar instead of eating like a potato, and it's not going to be as filling, so that's when you may run into some problems. But it's going to take away those cravings, and it's going to help you out. You don't want to only base all your food off of junk food. It's not what I'm saying, but you could be a little flexible in your diet, which is called if it fits your macros. And I'll go more into depth about both tools that you use if it fits your macros and intermittent fasting. But yeah, like I said, I mean, you want to live a regular lifestyle. You don't want to be living, you don't want to restrict your living situations just because you're on a diet. That's ridiculous. Unless, like I said, unless you're competing, then that's what you chose, and you got to be on point with everything. But as long as you're burning more calories than you're consuming, then you're good. You don't necessarily need cardio, but if you do cardio, then yes, you could bump up your calories a little bit more. So if you run for, let's say, like 30 minutes and you burn 200 calories, you could eat like a extra chocolate bar or whatever that's equivalent to 200 calories, or you could just cut out and not eat that chocolate bar, which is 200 calories, and then you don't have to do the cardio. So you have to find that balance. You got to find what works best for you, and the only way you're gonna really see results is if you count your calories. It's a real number game. It's a real science. But I mean, once you get it down, it's relatively easy. You want to make sure you're weighing all your food as well, and I'll go more into depth on how to count your calories in another video. But as for now, just find the ratios. I mean, you can always leave a comment in the section below. I could ask you a few questions, and I can kind of guide you in how many calories you should be eating in order to drop fat. Like I said, I have people coming in all the time asking similar questions to that, but no, you don't need to cut out all your carbs. You don't need to raise your protein to like extreme levels. And a high protein diet too can cause problems with your kidney. Your body's not going to process it all. So yeah, I mean, as long as you're hitting your numbers, as long as you're hitting your macronutrients, your calories, you'll be good. You'll drop weight at a consistent rate, and you got to be consistent with it. I mean, your hard work will show. The gym, your numbers won't lie to you. You can't outwork a bad diet either. So just because you're exercising like even more than you were before, but you're still eating like crap, there's no way you're gonna outwork a bad diet. Like I said, with the whole doing cardio and eating a chocolate bar, I mean, how much cardio are you gonna have to do just to burn off that little extra donut or whatever high caloric thing that you eat? I mean, it's just impossible to outwork a bad diet. So I mean, at the end of the day, you are what you eat. Just make sure you're hitting your numbers, being precise with everything. And like I said, if you have any other questions, if there's anything that I missed, you can leave a comment in the section below, and I'll be sure to help you with that, help you find your macronutrients, help find whatever calories you're supposed to hit in order to drop fat. But like I said, just be consistent with it. It's all a long process. Don't be discouraged because the weight's not moving the way you want it to be. But yeah, like I said, it's a lifestyle, and it's just, you got to improve everything. You got to improve your mind, you got to improve your body, and that'll improve your lifestyle. So once again, my name is Daniel Mesa, and this is the end of the video.